Good afternoon, viewers, and good afternoon, everybody that is watching within Zambia and across the nation in the borders of the country and those overseas. Today, we're having another edition with Dr. Fred Membe, who is
depending. The challenges families are facing are increasing. Despair is setting in. There's no light at the end of the tunnel that one can talk about. It is quite stressful for many of our people. You have the issues of load shedding. You have the high cost of living. You have so many challenges that come with poverty, illnesses increase, and so
on. Talking about challenges and other things that are affecting this nation, Zambia. We are still facing the issue of load shedding, which has gone to 20 hours, and we seem not to be having a solution. In the last press briefing that His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema indicated that those who have better solutions than the government should bring them forward. What is your comment to this crisis that the country is facing today?
I think it's not a question of those who have better solutions coming up and offering them to the government. They were elected on the promises they made about load shedding. Mr. Hichilema spoke at length and on many occasions about how he was going to end the problem of load shedding. Within a few months of being in government, he was boasting that he has ended load shedding. Today, he's asking for solutions. And does he listen to solutions? Who does Mr. Hichilema listen to? He doesn't listen to anyone other than white people, foreigners, and so on. He doesn't listen even to his own people, in his own party, in his own government. He only listens to his inner demons. That's the only thing he listens to. So it's not the question of solutions. Solutions are there. The first thing he must do is to take bold decisions and remove all the exports of electricity. We are exporting electricity. They were saying, the minister said they were exporting 195 megawatts. Although ZESCO itself announced that they were exporting more than 280, I think 285 megawatts. I don't know who between the two of them is telling the truth. We needed to bring back that. And the quick solutions that they have been promising, where are they? Where are they? They have been promising solutions. But the consequences of this are devastating. The economy is being devastated. Even the GDP revision that they had from 4.8 production badly, we see it to be between 0 and maybe 1.5%, not the 2.3. It's not achievable. It's not achievable.
Dr. Membe, we have seen a growing pattern of donations and land sale since the UPND government came into office. A case in point is the land that was donated to Rwanda and Kenya for supposedly agricultural purposes. And we also note the sale of 10% of land to Dubai companies. Furthermore, this very week, we received a notification from the chiefs in Wapula, who stood to defend the people of Zambia, to say they rejected the proposal of the sale of land to the Vietnamese companies. What is your take when it comes to the sale of land and these donations that the UPND government has continued doing?
Maybe before I come to that, let me deal with the issue of ZESCO. This load shedding is affecting ZESCO badly. The income of ZESCO is dwindling. It's dwindling badly. The 10 hours and so load shedding, the income of ZESCO is diminishing. With the diminishing income, ZESCO will not be able to provide the services it's required to provide to our people. And the unbundling of ZESCO, that they have a decision they have taken to unbundle ZESCO, is also going to cause a lot of problems. They are simply trying to take away the income of ZESCO and leave ZESCO with the task of generating electricity, which the taxpayer will have to finance. And then they share the distribution, they share everything, which is easier, and the infrastructure has been put there by ZESCO already. This will be another case of CEC when they were unbundling ZCCM. Who will be behind all these new ventures? Who will take over all these businesses? It's themselves. It's themselves, using all sorts of fronts. Coming to the issue of land, the territory of Zambia today, as we see it, 752,618 square kilometers, is not going to change. This is the only land we have. This is the only territory we have. Take out the rivers, take out the mountains, the escarpments, and so on, the valleys. This is all we have. At independence, the population of Zambia was about 3.5 million or so. Today, we are 20.6 million. The number of Zambians that will need land in the next 15 years will increase, will double. It will be doubling every 15 years. The population will be doubling every 15 years at our current growth rate, population growth rate of 2.94%. Where are these people going to settle? Where are they going to build? Where are they going to have agricultural land? Already in certain parts of our country, agricultural land is gone. By the late 60s, early 70s, land in southern province had almost finished. You could not get much land other than grabbing it from another person. And we saw migrations from southern province into the Mumbwa areas, the Sala areas, into the Lenje areas between Lusaka and Kapirimposhi, into the Sori areas of Lusaka, Chongwe, Kafiwe, into the Lamba areas of Mpongwe, Masaiti, Rufwanyama, Kafulafuta, into the Kaonde areas of Kasempa, Mufumbwe, Solwezi, into the Western Province areas of Kaoma, Nkeyema, Kalumwange, and also into the Central Province areas of Mukushi, Serenje, and they are getting into Muchinga, Northern, and Wapula now. These are good farmers, extremely good farmers who need land. If we are going to give land to foreigners, if we are going to give land to transnational corporations, where are our people going to settle? Where are our people going to farm? Where are our people going to have grazing land for their cattle? Where are they going to live? They will soon become foreigners in their own country. The land problems that we have in Zimbabwe will soon come to us. The land question that is not resolved in South Africa will also soon face us. Is this what we want for our people? Let's think about the Zambia of tomorrow. Let's think about our people's lives tomorrow. Let's not just be greedy and focus on what we can get for ourselves today. Land is important. You can't have shelter without land. You can't have a business without a piece of land. to trade on. You can't have factories without land to build them on. You can't have agriculture without land. Literally everything that we need to do economically needs land. Even to build our churches, we need land. To build our schools, we need land. To build our hospitals, we need land. If we are giving away this land, tomorrow we'll be required to buy it back at exorbitant prices. We had to buy land after independence. We had to buy land to build the University of Zambia. Our people contributed money to buy that land. Again, we started selling, we started giving away University of Zambia land. Today, University of Zambia land is squeezed on a small plot. The farms of the University of Zambia are gone, shared or sold. What type of people are we who don't care so much about the future? If those who fought for our independence did not have the vision they had for this country and for its people, where would we be building houses today? Where would the farms that our leaders today have would have come from? They have huge farms today. They have tracts and tracts of land. Some of it is stolen. Some of it gotten through manipulation. They were able to do so because those who came before them prepared for the future. Land is important. We need to revisit our land tenure system and land alienation processes. We cannot leave this to the politician alone now. It's not trustworthy. The politician cannot be trusted alone to administer land. We need also to bring our chiefs, our traditional rulers in it in a stronger way. Of course, with all the institutions that controlled the traditional leadership playing a role in land distribution so that it's not left in the hands of one person alone. But I'm glad with the position taken by our chiefs in Luapula. That's the way to go. Gabashiti empanga yonse, bapoke empanga yonse, ubufumu bwapwa. Ubufumu bwesu bwapwa. Ngobufumu bwesu bwapwa, na ifwe twapwa. So we are grateful to the royal land recklessly will be too costly. That land is the only thing our poor people have. Even those who are in the urban areas, when they lose whatever small jobs they have, they rush back to the rural areas, to their villages, where they grow a few crops here and there. They rear some goats, some cattle, and so on. If that is taken away from them, what happens to them when all is lost in the urban areas? With the poverty levels increasing in our urban areas, we are likely to see more and more of our people drifting back to the rural areas. Urban poverty today stands at 31.8%. It has moved from 23.4% to 31.8% today. Many challenges living in the urban areas now. Afford the plots on which to build a house for dwelling. They can't afford a plot on which to build a small shop. So life for them is important. Irukeni poseni kwa mano kumpanga lesa mipela.
This is not free money. You said it is debt. And we are currently on an IMF restructuring program. And since the UPND came into power, they have acquired more debt and are still doing the same. Now, how do we then understand debt restructuring, and what does this mean for for the future citizens of this country.
Truly, the $570 million from the IMF is not free money. It's not a gift. Ninkongole. Ninkongole. And we should bear in mind that the IMF was not created for us. We were not there as an independent sovereign country immediately after the Second World War when the IMF and other Bretton Woods institutions were created. We were not there. We were not a factor. We were colonies. We had no sovereignty. Our sovereignty, the sovereignty of this territory lay with the British government. Those institutions were created to serve the interests of their creators. Those who were there who created them. The Europe, the Americas, were the beneficiaries of those institutions. If you think that the IMF will develop this country, the IMF will get us out of our quagmire, tuleibepwa. They will not. Today our debt has grown. The UPND and Mr. Hakainde Hichilema were crying about the debt they found of $11.7 billion. But this debt today has moved with the 570 million they have added. It has moved to about 15 billion plus. It has moved from 14.7 billion with this addition now to 15 billion plus. At the rate the debt is growing, we are going to have more debt at the end of Mr. Hichilema's government than he found. The growth rate of debt under Mr. Hichilema is much faster. It's much higher than it was. Even the debt restructuring that we're celebrating, he has simply contracted new euro bonds. He has changed. The restructuring has given us new euro bonds, which according to their arrangements will mature in 2032. Will mature in 2053. We know that Mr. Hichilema has run away from paying the debts he's contracting. He wants to have no debt to pay. 2031, in his own estimation, he will leave government after the second term, which he won't get. 2053, nobody knows who will be alive. So we are pushing this debt to future generations. That's what Mr. Hichilema is doing. He's pushing this debt to generations that are more troubled, that will have more challenges being created today by his government. They may not even have sufficient income from minerals because minerals are being taken away for free. He's given so many tax waivers to transnational corporations. We are saying we need that money. Mining is not going to create many jobs as it used to create before. Those armies of mine workers we used to have before, we used to see before, we'll never see them again. They are gone. No matter how many mines we open now, the jobs that will be created are very few because technology has changed. Akale bale mbomu kuba nama shovels nama picks. Today you have got all sorts of equipment. Excavators, bulldozers of all sorts and so on. So the jobs are declining in the mines. Last year he was announcing the opening of the nickel mine, the biggest nickel mine in Africa. How many jobs did he say they were going to create at his peak? 700 jobs. The biggest mine in Africa, nickel mine in Africa, is going to produce 700 jobs. That's too little. What we need from the mines is money. We are mining for nothing but money. We need to maximize the income we get from mining so that we pump it in other sectors like agriculture, especially peasant agriculture, and create jobs there. Those are the only sectors we are going to create jobs and improve the living conditions of our people. If we don't get enough income from mining, what is mining for? It's better even to stop it so that the future generations who may have better wisdom than us can benefit more from it. We need money from mining, and the money from mining is going to come through taxes because we are not going to get it through jobs. Whoever is coming to mine here, let them get the minerals, but they must leave the money with us. If they get the minerals and they get the money, what is going to remain for us? What are we going to get out of it? It doesn't matter whether it's the Americans, the Europeans, the Chinese, the Russians who come to mine here. They should get the minerals and leave us the money so that we use the money also to develop ourselves. If they get the minerals, they also get the money from the minerals. What is mining there for us? What is the benefit? Today also, we shouldn't just talk about external debt. There's also a huge domestic debt building up. Today we have 250 billion of domestic debt. They are issuing treasury bills, treasury bonds. They are borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. And also this has got pressure on the exchange rate. If it's foreign entities buying these bonds, what does it mean? When they mature, the money is externalized. They are taking out the money, which is putting pressure on the exchange rate, taking away whatever little we have. Again, there is need to get out of this debt trap. There is need to get out of this debt trap. And when we talk about debt trap, it's not just about the country, but also the individuals here. Today we have civil servants who are in a deep debt trap. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Most of our civil servants today cannot live on their salaries or wages, monthly salaries. In the same day they are paid, they have to go and borrow. So it's every month borrowing, every day borrowing. If there is no restructuring of their debts, they will never come out of it. And unfortunately, some of the entities that have debt trapped them belong to our leaders. The companies that have debt trapped them belong to our leaders. So they don't care about the people, they simply care about what they are going to make themselves. So debt is a big issue, not only for the country, but also for the individuals in our country.
You in your answering, you touched a bit on the other question I wanted to ask you. Maybe you can expand on it. You have constantly advised the UPND government that the immediate positive economic measures that they should take is to address the economic challenges, and one of them is reversing the generous tax waivers to transnational cooperatives. Why is this important to our country?
The taxes you get from these transnational corporations is what you use to develop our economy. If you give them that, you give that away, what remains for you to deal with the many challenges our people are facing, our country is facing? Where is the income going to come from? Where is the money going to come from? You are giving away your income. Your income is the taxes you get. You give the waivers, it's gone. Yes, it was given probably naively in the hope that if they are given money or tax waivers, then they will invest more. It doesn't work that way. They have not come here to throw money in a bottomless pit. They have come here to make money. They have come here to get away with as much as possible as you can. They have come here not to pay taxes. They don't want to pay taxes. They'll always threaten you with this and that if you increase the taxes and so forth. They don't want to pay taxes. They want to minimize the taxes they pay. The job of our government is to maximize the taxes they collect. While they run those transnational corporations, their job is to minimize the taxes they pay. So there's a permanent conflict here or contradiction here. And that's the way it should be. Those who lead us should try to get as much income through taxes from the transnational corporations. But again, they don't give away these taxes for nothing. There are all sorts of kickbacks. There are all sorts of kickbacks. These taxes are being sold by our leaders. They are being sold by our leaders. They get benefits from these tax waivers they give. They are not giving them away for nothing. They get something out of it. To them. All sorts of benefits go to them. We hear these issues of corruption of transnational corporations everywhere in the world. Some are in courts today. So it's not free. But if we don't get the maximum.
As we wrap up, Doctor, what is the secret behind your theme song?
The song was composed by our choir, the SP choir. A brilliant song. And I decided to improve on it and direct this production. I did a little bit of music. When I was in secondary school for 5 years, I did music. So I understand a bit of music. I can read and write music.
Okay. I think we'll come and learn more.
It's a brilliant song. It's a beautiful song.
It was a pleasure to host you today, and we look forward to do the same next week. And all the viewers, the followers that have been listening, and all those that made comments, we say thank you.